Ron DeSantis is having a really bad time so far this year. His book tour has been a disaster. He was met by pro-Trump people who tried to disrupt his events as frequently as possible. He did his overseas trip. He was caught on camera with that weird laugh, and then, of course, the picking his nose and wiping it on people who support him. And then, of course, his poll numbers are in the toilet compared to where they were just 6 short months ago. Donald Trump is beating him up every day. And now you've got other Republican candidates entering the race, people like Tim Scott this past week. And according to Republican donors and, of course, Republican strategists, it's because nobody is afraid of Ron DeSantis anymore. The 5 months that we have had so far this year have changed things dramatically, not just for Ron DeSantis' presidential bid, but possibly his entire career trajectory. Because they have shown that he does not play on a national level. Yes, he's doing great in far-right Florida. Yeah, he won last year's election by 1.5 million votes. The wind was at his back. The sky was the limit. And then he said, well, I'm going to venture outside of Florida's borders. And that's when everything went to hell for him. But as I said, recently donors, Republican strategists, they actually spoke to Rolling Stone. And here is what they had to say. According to 7 GOP operatives and pollsters supporting 2024 contenders other than Trump or DeSantis, the other contenders now believe DeSantis is, in their estimations, a paper tiger, whose less than stellar performance in his shadow campaign has convinced them he can be torn down as the only non-Trump alternative. And that belief, the operatives say, has only grown in recent weeks as DeSantis' poll numbers have wavered. One GOP donor put his opinion on DeSantis bluntly in conversation with Rolling Stone. And he simply said, quote, "No one is afraid of him." No one is afraid of Ron DeSantis. He's a paper tiger, which means all of this big bravado that he walks around with, it's all fake. It doesn't actually exist, much like Donald Trump, by the way, worth pointing that out. Also, maybe it's worth pointing out that I've been pointing that out for the last 2 years, but either way, here we are. Everybody sees it now. Everybody in this country sees what Ron DeSantis is all about. He's all about culture war stupid talk. He is a bully. He is a coward. He cannot actually talk about real issues. He's getting his ass kicked by Mickey Mouse down here in Florida to the point where even the rest of the Republicans down here are like, dude, just let it go because they're making you look like a fool. And DeSantis is like, no, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to get right back on that ride and get my butt kicked the whole way by Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy. And that's what's happening. So DeSantis doesn't have a chance. And he hasn't even formally launched. I mean, look, he's launched, okay? We all know whether he announces or not, it doesn't change what happens from Monday to Tuesday. You know what I mean? He's running for president. This is what he wants, and he's doing a really poor job of it. Republican donors are saying, yeah, this guy is an idiot. His other Republican challengers, who he'll meet up with on that debate stage, are mocking him, laughing at him, saying he has no real power and he has no real accomplishments because he doesn't. Donald Trump is beating the hell out of him every single day. It's like the entire universe converged to make sure that Ron DeSantis would never become president of the United States. DeSantis, has lost 2 or 3 major billionaire Republican donors in the last month. People say, well, I'm sick of this. Former Republican lawmakers have also now come out and said, listen, I'm a never Trump Republican, but I got to tell you, I'm not going to vote for DeSantis either. There's no way we're going to break for him. I mean, some of them maintain that they think DeSantis represents such a danger in his own right that he's not worth supporting under any circumstances. That's according to the Miami Herald, who spoke to current and former Republican officials talking about DeSantis. There is no base for DeSantis. He is not the only non-Trump alternative for the Republicans, and that's what the donors see. That's what the public sees. They realize that DeSantis is actually just a different version of Trump. And that's why his campaign is dead on arrival. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.